Good morning, welcome to the Gambling Gardeners. Today we're going to take a tour of our garden. It's early summer, it's June 28th, and it is hot. Oh my gosh, it's been hot all week. It's been over 100 degrees a couple days. Looking at the 7-day forecast, I think there's only one day that's below 95 the next 7 days. It is hot here in Raleigh, North Carolina, there is no doubt about it. Just goes to show you how important it is to have a watering system in your beds this time of year. As we go around the garden today, we'll talk about a few things. I think the last time we had an update was May 25th. So it is kind of bittersweet today because our babies that we started from seed back in February, a lot of it is harvest already or getting close to. Believe it or not, our tomatoes are almost done because they just can't handle this heat here in the south. So we'll show you what we've done to them to help them grow. And as long as they can, we've protected them the best we can. And then we'll just kind of show you where we're at in our process so far. We've done some harvesting. We're getting ready to harvest some more stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are with our corn. Again, we planted this, I think, just prior to the last fall, or the last frost, which is, I believe, April 15th, somewhere around that here in the Raleigh area. We're in zone 8A. So, like I said, and that's changed over the last few years. I think the temperature has gone up in this area, so they redid it, I think, last year or the year before. I think we were in zone 7.
7B.
7B, and they changed it to 8A. I guess the temperature has changed over the last few years. I think they only update those, like every 20 years or something like that, the average temperature. So it could go back to 7, if the temperature starts to drop. But here is our corn. We've harvested a lot of this. We had over 70 ears of corn come off of this. This is our Silver Queen corn, award-winning seed from some place that we got seeds from. I can't remember who it is, but they've been fantastic this year. And like I said, we've harvested most of it, the majority of it, but there is a couple left. And this is a decent sized one. This looks good. Look at that. That is really, can't get better than that at the store. Let's open it up and take a look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that. No insects.
Oh, nice. No bugs.
No bugs. I mean,
beautiful.
Look at that. That is just beautiful. Silver Queen, white corn. We had some. It's delicious. Oh my gosh, right? We got family coming. I'm hoping that we can hang on to a dozen or so ears that we get an opportunity to share with our family when they're visiting in a couple weeks. We are having some friends over for 4th of July. Last year it was the same thing. We all of our corn was pretty much harvested right before we had some people over for 4th of July, and it kind of looks like it's going to be that way too. So this has been fantastic. It's grown. I don't know if you saw our silly video earlier. It's over 10 foot tall. This corn got to. So this is a 16 by 4 foot bed. We roughly got close to 100% growth out of this bed. And like I said, we got close to 70 ears of corn. Looks like we're going to get a little bit more. So it's been a great yield. Fun to watch this grow. I don't think I'm relatively new to this kind of gardening. I don't think I've ever grown anything this big in my life. So it's fun to watch it grow. Even if we wouldn't have got a harvest off, it's just fun to watch it grow. And then over here, we've got our beans. Our beans are pretty much done. We're actually getting ready to throw some stuff in for our fall crops this year. So that's not long off. In a couple weeks, we'll start getting stuff in the ground. But we had lettuce in this bed. What's left is beans. So we're going to get ready to put some fall things in here. Some of the things that you can kind of grow in the fall, you can do onions again. You can start your garlic. You can do potatoes. I think we're going to do a few more root vegetables such as carrots. Even in this area in Raleigh, you could get maybe determinate tomatoes that ripen a lot faster, are one-time growth that you could get another growing season out of those for the tomatoes. But you couldn't grow like beefsteak or something like that this time of year, just not enough time to go ahead and for it to ripen up. So that's this bed. We got our asparagus that's just kind of growing out now. We're done with that this year. We had a great crop. A lot of fun. Enjoy growing this crop. Like I said, it's an easy one. Patience takes, what you have here. We have some purple and we have some green. We didn't get any purple this year, but we did get the green. It was great, fantastic. I think next year we've added to this crop, so we'll probably have a lot more to grab next year. We got our artichokes growing here. This, if you remember from the last video, they were small, just starting out. we're trying to figure out what's happening here. We don't know if it's an insect, but something we have to look into. You can see how the leaves are kind of getting dying out a little bit on it. So we just got to kind of figure out what's going on with there. Again, we try to stay away from any insecticides that are chemical. We try to use all natural if we have to. Sometimes if worse comes to worse, we'll get out the BT, but we try to really stay away from that if possible. This was one of our potato beds that we cleaned up. We're going to get ready. We're actually going to do a fall crop in here. We're going to plant some popcorn, different corn, obviously. So we're going to throw some in here. We'll see how that does this year. I actually have, I read someplace that I took some ash left over from our charcoal grill, and that's what's laying on top here. I'm going to mix that in with the soil. It's a great thing to just use. You can also put it in with your composter. If you have a composter, it's really good in there too. Not really sure what it adds to it, but
We also, just a quick update, we got about 15 to 20 pounds of potatoes total.
15. And we had 3 different varieties.
Yep.
And we had red, we had Yukon, and we had what was the third
The
one?
russet.
The russet. Kind of like if you look back at our old videos, I thought we would get more. I think we overplanted the bed, so in the fall, or when we go ahead and plant some more, we're going to probably reduce the amount that we put in there just to see if we get a better harvest. And the dirt, like I said, we compacted it too much, and we felt like that kind of inhibited the growth of it. But so we're going to try again in the fall, and hopefully we'll see a different yield. One of the great things that we have this year that we're very proud of is our onions. I mean, look at how. Can I pull this one?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
pull it out. These are all coming out today.
These are all being harvested today, but look at
the
that.
size of that
Look
guy.
at that onion.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic. Looks great. I mean,
Short.
these are seed onions
Yep.
right here. These are from our seeds that we started in February, maybe even before that. So the seed onions they turned out, they're great. One of the things about the onions that is interesting, they take a lot of water. We haven't had a whole lot of success with onions, so we're so excited about this year, the way these have turned out. And to kind of show you an example of the difference in onions that we did here. So over here, look at this one. Here's another one. Let's go ahead and pull this one out. Look at how big that is. That is
Beautiful.
beautiful onion. These are sweet, white, yellow sweet
I think they're Vidalias.
Vidalias.
Yeah.
So again, these are seeds, and then we had this whole row here of 2 rows, and I think this is just a combination of the bed being a little bit too wet down at this end, but these ones here are the bulbs. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this
They're all
one.
coming out. Yep.
Look at the difference.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, and the rate of survival too. I mean, there's only 3 of these compared. I mean, this
Wow.
is the bulbs, this is the seeds. Quite a difference. I mean, they're both edible, but this one definitely looks like a better. And we don't know we didn't look close enough at the package when we bought it. We don't know if these are long day or short days. But here in the South, we have the short day onions, which these Vidalias are our short days. So that's pretty exciting too. Over here, we talk about our successes and failures. We have been trying probably over the last 4 years, maybe longer, to grow Brussels sprouts. And it either gets too hot too fast, and then insects take over, and we just are not successful with our Brussels
Looks
sprouts.
like we may have one.
Yeah, one. Yeah. So, and it's a small one. So, but
I think
we're going to try again in the fall.
Yeah.
This is going to be a winter crop. I think what happens for us is we plant them maybe a little too late, but it's really tricky in the fall here or in the spring, in the winter, because you want to get these cold weather crops out, and I think we got them out, and we lost a couple because of frost. I mean, so it's really tricky. So I'm hoping by planting these late in the early summer that we can start getting a nice crop come fall. And then just real quick, our wildflower bed over here, we had this, it's not really bloomed right now, but this is a 4 o'clock, I guess it was from last year. I had put some other wildflower seeds in here and it kept growing, and we're like, well, maybe it's a weed. And then it just finally started blooming, and I'm glad we let it go, because it is absolutely beautiful. And if you guys know anything about 4 o'clocks, it'll overtake. So we're going to pull this out in the fall and move it to a different area and let it just keep growing. It's beautiful.
Why do they call it a 4 o'clock?
I guess it's supposed to bloom at 4 o'clock, but it
So the
seems
flowers come out at a certain time of day.
yeah, but I don't know if that's true. It seems like they're out more in the morning here than they are in the at 4 o'clock. This is great, and I know a lot of people are kind of going to be like us too, and maybe not, because I am not that smart of a person. So this is lofah, and I don't know who told us when we were growing up or we got the information that lofah comes from the sea. It does not come from the sea. There are sponges that come from the sea, but that is not what's used apparently for lofah. And so we've decided to grow this year and see what we can do. And so hopefully we'll get some lofah out of this. I guess it's got to dry out. Let's see if we got one in here that's growing to kind of show you what it looks like. We dry these out and you turn them into sponges. And so if you're on our Christmas list, look for some honey and some lofah this year. So I know there's one in here. It doesn't seem like it's a very productive plant, and I'm not sure why, because there are a lot of bees on it. So I know there's one in here. It's not like cucumbers where all of a sudden you come out here and you got like 10 of them growing. It's very sporadic. There's not just like Rhonda said, a whole lot of production here. Oh, here's one down here. Look at how it gets pretty big. So you just let it keep growing until it totally dries out, and then you can hear the seeds shake around in it, and that's when it looks like a pretty involved process. So hopefully we'll get more than just this one. I mean,
yeah, there's about 6 or 7 plants here. I did overplant.
But if you're only getting one,
right,
seems like it's probably a good idea to plant a lot of them. But it is beautiful. I think next year when we do this, we're going to grow it on the arbor instead of on this tripod, or not tripod, but TP type.
And in case anybody has a question about it, lofah is edible. I'm probably not going to eat it. I'm more interested in the sponge factor. So.
Yeah. And then we still have some of our flowers growing down here, along with our grapes. I do see we're starting to get some of this, also this skeleton. What is it called? It's a skeleton
beetle, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it makes the leaf look like a skeleton. So
have to hit it with some BT.
Yeah, we're gonna have to treat these. The other grapes we have too. But look, we got a little bit of grapes coming in here. These are Cabernet grapes. We don't know if they'll make it or not, but it's more than what we had last year. So it's not a whole lot. We're still learning on the grape side of things, on how to trim and all that stuff. I think we do have it down, and we'll show you that when we get to our other grapes over there. But we do have a little bird nest being built up in here, which is kind of neat to see. So it is being used by the birds. And then we'll step into our in-ground garden. Oh, let me talk about the strawberries real quick. Obviously, you can see we got the strawberries still going. These are first-year plants, so it's getting production out of them is pretty surprising. This bed, I have to figure it out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these strawberries over to where the corn is. Once they kind of get through winter, I'll cut them back and move them over to the corn, and then we'll move the corn over here for next year, just because this bed's just really wet, and the corn can handle the water. I just think some of this is just some of them look really healthy, and we're getting some really nice strawberries off of them. I've come out here in the morning and pick them and put them in my smoothie. So, and then yeah, so we our hay beds. We also have some melons in these. But this is our first year doing this. We're not sure about how this is going to work. I feel like they're a little bit slow. I mean, because we planted these, gosh, I don't know, 5 weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago, and they're just not very productive yet. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if this bay hail thing, and the reason we did this is because we didn't want it to take up area in our other garden, because obviously when the melons start to grow, they take up a lot of space. They just go out. So we're just going to let them grow out here and do the same thing. And also down there, we have some, I didn't talk about those, but we do have some watermelons down there along with some sunflowers that are growing out of that pot. Same thing here. We got some sunflowers growing. So we'll keep adding to those. Things are still looking really good. If you can just overall view of the garden, everything looks pretty green and healthy still. Again, I attribute that to the watering system. If we did not have the irrigation system in here, this stuff would be, it wouldn't even be alive right now based on those hot days that we had a couple through this week. And then over here we have our herb bed. Got some basil, obviously it's blooming out. The bees love this stuff though. They love these flowers on this basil. We got some thyme. We have some rosemary.
That's lemongrass.
Lemongrass, some chives. And then we're just growing a few, what is this, squash? Or
This is squash.
squash down here. And then anything that grows into the chicken coop, they love to take a bite of it. Then we'll go over here to our in-ground garden, which is, like I said, really close to kind of being done for the year. We haven't done a whole lot of weeding out here because most of these crops we were like, they're pretty much done for the year. But this Swiss chard's still growing really nice. Looks like we got one cabbage left. Got some celery in here. We got these peanuts that are growing really nice. This first year we're doing any kind of peanuts.
Oh, they have.
They are growing really good. We got some jalapenos that are looking really nice. And then we got these tomatoes that are just, these on the outside are some Cherokee. Haven't really had a whole lot of luck with these. Again, so let me kind of step back. From advice from multiple people online, in these, I don't think these tomato plants would be alive right now if I didn't have this shade cloth. They'd be looking a lot worse, and they are starting to get disease. It's just the environment that we're in. They only last so long. You try to baby them through, but this shade cloth, I mean, you look, I mean, the sun is coming down right now, and if you look in there, these things, other than these ones in the front, great shade, it's cool. You can go in there, there's a temperature difference in there for sure. So it has really, really helped preserve or prolong the life of these tomatoes. I'm going to grab a couple of these tomatoes real quick.
Tell us about your cucumbers.
Oh yeah, and these cucumbers, oh my gosh, these things, again, something I kind of overplanted. I went from early, a little later. I'm going to be tearing these up probably next weekend just because we need more. I'm going to plant some more for the winter. We got plenty of bees. Look at, that's a nice cucumber. That's really nice. This one's on here too long, starting to yellow out, but still a nice cucumber, edible for salads. I mean, we've gotten so many cucumbers this year. It's been kind of out of control with the cucumbers, but there's a ton of them. They're great pickle cucumbers. Like this is a good size that I'd like to see off of these for the cucumbers, or for the what you call it?
Pickles.
Pickles. So, I mean, I could just sit here and keep picking. I mean, there's. And the bees love the cucumbers. They really do. The cucumber flowers, so they're really good. We got a few blueberries still here too on our blueberry bush. We got some that are looking good. These are great. I mix them in with my smoothie in the morning with the strawberries. So yeah, so we'll probably be taking these out in a little bit.
Let me just give a quick shout out to our banana peppers.
Yeah, banana peppers.
I think we've got
Green peppers.
some green peppers back there as well. Let's see if
Yeah, they're let me get in there. Actually, they're red peppers. They're green, or I'm sorry, not red peppers, but orange and red peppers. We're starting to get them here. They're just not turning yet, but a little bit. But the problem is a lot of times they rot before they turn colors. So maybe I just need to start picking them a little bit earlier. But here's some down here. Starting to get some, but. I wanted to show you a couple different varieties of tomatoes that we have. This one here is just unbelievable. These are and I like it's not so much with the birds. That's the other thing that helps with this shade cloth. This shade cloth helps kind of protect you from the birds too, getting into your tomatoes, which is nice. So there's 4 tomatoes. These are going to ripen up nice. These are the what are these? The black
chef.
Black chef. We had some of these. You can't really tell it from the outside, but when you cut these open, there's just this nice deep red, almost black color to them. They're great. They're fantastic. The flavor was amazing on these. They were really good, and you can see that relatively. Oh my gosh, the temperature back here is, I mean, 15 degrees cooler. these are the zebras, right?
Purple zebras?
Purple zebras. These are another one. When you cut them open, the inside of them is just, they're amazing to see on the inside. They're just, they are very good too. Very, very, very tasty tomato. And then the ones that we've been having the best, like yield, you know, like the good sized tomatoes, healthy tomatoes, are these ones that are called these pink.
Wow.
What are they called? Pink passion?
Pink delicious.
Pink delicious. And look at them, they got like this pink color to them. They're just really delicious. I've probably let these on here a little too long. They're starting to, I got to come in here and just, there's a ton of tomatoes that we need to harvest. And so we'll get to these today, tomorrow.
How many plants did you plant?
Close to 70 plants. And the reason I did that, again, if you guys want to go back and look at our other videos, we get a lot of disease and the tomatoes tend to peter out early. Doesn't seem to be happening right now, so which is nice. I'm happy with that. And we tried some of these different type of, they're called Sparkies. These are actually cherry tomatoes. Look how big these are for cherry tomatoes. I mean, that's just 70 something plants that we planted in here just because of the rate of disease and things in here, but they're actually doing pretty well. We're about done, but there is one area I want to show you over here real quick. These early aromas that we thought we were going to see early, they are just starting to come in now, and they're coming in strong. Look at all of them down here. So we'll be picking these, including the green ones, because they'll turn. It's time to get these off. They're almost, once they get diseased, the plant kind of stops growing. So we'll go ahead and get all these off of here. These will be our canning tomatoes. Well, they're kind of falling off right now, but they're looking great. I mean, look at, they're just, and then we'll go outside here, but look at, oh, I just want to show you this real quick. Look down here. These cherry tomato plants were kind of diseased, so I pulled them out of here. But look how many, after they're pulled out, look at, they all turn green. Not really sure how the flavor
will they
would
turn
be.
red?
Or, I'm sorry, red, from green to red. But we'll go step outside real quick. We're actually having it so hot, we're having an issue with the camera overheating out here, which is kind of interesting to tell you, illustrate how hot it is. But go over here and show you some of our tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes are unbelievable. We overplanted cherry tomatoes for sure. And look, I mean, even you can see some of the disease starting to come in on these plants. So they're getting really close. It's not really worth it for me to go in here and try to cut this out at that time. But look at this. This is a two-handed tomato out of our garden. Look at it, it's beautiful. It's
Is that
perfect.
a pink delicious?
This is a pink delicious. Kind of illustrates how big they get. Ron and I have this discussion every year, and I think every year we say the same thing, that it's the biggest tomato I've ever grown. And Rana will say, well, you said that last year, but this truly is the biggest tomato I've ever grown. These are the normal sized cherry tomatoes that we're getting right now. I mean, they look great. I mean, and Rana's been using these for the sun-dried tomatoes. They've been working great for that. Obviously, they're great for salads. We overplanted, but you can see how all the red that's in there right now that are just ready to pick. And we're gonna have way too many tomatoes, which we kind of thought was gonna happen anyways. But anyways, that pretty much wraps up this tour. We'll show you our grapes over here real quick that we planted this year. I did prune them. You can see I do have my two runners that I was trying to get established on this trellis that I made. So we'll get these, got it trimmed up really nice. Got these going over here. I trimmed off, there was some of that. Yeah, see there's a little bit of skeleton, I guess they call it skeleton beetle, that's on this too. So we're gonna have to do something with this because we don't want to lose this plant that's nice and healthy, growing like we want it to grow, and then it will. So we're feeling good about where our grapes are right now. Obviously we're not going to get anything off of this year. We didn't expect. We got these plants were 3-year mature grape plants that we bought from
Tai Nursery.
Tai Nursery,
Mm-hmm.
I think out of California.
I think they're out of Georgia.
Out of Georgia, okay.
I could put the link in.
Yeah, we'll put the link. But anyways, that kind of wraps it up. It's super hot out here today. Please keep watching. We appreciate all the views and comments, questions. We haven't seen any questions. We've seen a lot of comments. So if you guys got any questions for us, please ask us. This is a backyard garden. We don't want to consider this a homestead. It is our home, but it's not huge. Anybody can do this, and we appreciate you guys watching. Again, remember, take care of one another. Enjoy the opportunities that you have to get outside with nature, and just love each other, take care of each other, and remember, come grow with us.